Doyle is honored and delighted to present Color and Light, the collection of Dr. Thomas Chua. The Chua collection comprises more than 100 lots. It is particularly strong in the area of French Art Nouveau and French Art Deco glass, and includes many beautiful and colorful works in cameo glass by Emile Gallé and Dome, as well as other makers. A highlight of the sale, and one of my personal favorite lots, is Lot 86, a Galle engraved cameo glass marine vase. It has a tapering cylindrical shape and is decorated with seashells, seaweed, and a seahorse. It is made in plum-colored glass that is cased over lime green and opalescent glass and has maroon-colored striations and swirls. It is 11.5 inches tall and has an engraved signature. The vase dates to about 1904. Emile Gallé is one of the most important innovators of the Art Nouveau movement. His designs of Art Nouveau furniture are certainly noteworthy. However, it is Gallé's masterful creations and experiments in glass that propel the importance of this artist beyond some of his contemporaries. Galle found great inspiration in the natural world and incorporated motifs such as flowers, trees, insects, birds, and even sea life into his glass creations. Galle was a dedicated botanist and maintained an extensive flower garden at his residence to use as models. Galle worked in many different glass-making techniques, including enameling, casing, and cameo glass. Some of his earliest and most prized works in glass were wheel engraved or engraved by hand. Later, he used the technique of acid etching to great advantage. Galle was an innovator at heart, continuously experimenting with new techniques and colors of glass. He also revitalized the local glass industry by establishing a workshop that mass-produced his designs. In addition to his noteworthy work in Art Nouveau glass and Art Nouveau furniture, he was the founder of the École de Nancy, or Nancy School. It was established in 1901 to encourage and promote decorative arts design principles in the Art Nouveau style in his birthplace of Nancy, France. Galle participated in the École de Nancy exposition in Paris in 1903 and the National des Beaux-Arts Paris in 1904. His series of marine vases date to this period. Here is a contemporary illustration of 2 engraved marine vases which Galle exhibited at the École de Nancy exposition in 1903. Here is another contemporary illustration of 2 Galle engraved articles, including a cup and seal at the left and a marine vase at the right, both of which were exhibited at the Salon National des Beaux-Arts in Paris in 1904. The contemporary illustration shown here features 3 additional Galle engraved glass vases with marine motifs. These vases were also exhibited at the Salon National des Beaux-Arts in 1904. Another favorite item of mine in the Chua collection is Lot 107, a Galle marquetry glass Cyclamen vase. The vase has a glossy finish and measures 4.5 inches tall. It is signed Galle and Etude and was made around 1900. It is rectangular in shape and is made of dark purple, pink, and pearl-colored glass, inlaid with variously colored segments of glass, carefully selected and arranged on the glassmaker's table to suggest impressionistic blossoms that emanate from slender red and amber-colored stems. The cyclamen blooms on this vase are so highly stylized that they have a very graphic quality. Here's another vase decorated with cyclamen in a private collection. It is also signed Galle Etude and dates to about 1900. This piece and the one in the Chua collection are very much imbued with a Japanese aesthetic. Emile Gallé is also celebrated for his beautiful Art Nouveau furniture, exquisitely carved and often featuring marquetry inlay, created with variously colored woods, carefully selected and artfully arranged to suggest, for example, an exotic landscape, such as the scene depicted here. The natural grain of the wood, skillfully heightened with variously colored inlaid wood segments, artfully suggest rippled water on a tranquil lake. Galle also employed this marquetry technique in glass. He called it marquetry sur verre, which translates to marquetry in glass. This glassware was introduced to the public in 1897. It was a rather difficult process and resulted in a high failure rate at the kiln. The Cyclamen vase in the Chua collection is signed Galle Etude. The French word étude translates to study. Accordingly, the signature on this vase identifies it as a study piece. The vase is imperfect. It has a hairline stress crack on the front side of its body. The stress crack was likely caused at the time of its making and prior to the annealing process. Annealing is a necessary step in glass making. The object is quickly placed into an annealing oven where it is allowed to cool gradually so as to alleviate stress to the glass. It is a process that can sometimes take as long as 2 days to complete. During this time, the temperature in the oven is gradually lowered as the glass object cools. The Galle glassworkers would have been aware of the stress crack in the Cyclamen vase, but deemed it important and experimental enough not to be destroyed. Today, discerning collectors, dealers, and museum curators are more forgiving when it comes to damaged pieces of art glass, particularly when such pieces are now known to be rare examples of their kind. These pieces still retain artistic merit and value and are worthy of inclusion in a carefully curated art glass collection. I am glad this study piece has survived. It is a very beautiful specimen of the glassmaker's art. For this and more, please be sure to visit us at Doyle.com.